Media Watch here on France 24. And James Creedon joins me. Hello, James.
Evening, Claire.
You're going to concentrate on Venezuela now this evening, and local bloggers have been critical of the international media for not picking up the story sooner.
That's right. We'll take a look first, Claire, at this blog. It's Caracas Chronicles. The game changed in Venezuela last night and the international media is asleep at the switch, says this headline. And what they're critical thereof is the fact for 3 or 4 nights there had been a lot of violence, not just in Caracas but across Venezuela, but very little reaction to it in the international media. Here's a screenshot of the New York Times yesterday morning when around 11 a.m, I think local time, when there had been a lot of violence the previous night. I'll read you one paragraph from this blog. Throughout last night, panicked people told their stories of state-sponsored paramilitaries on motorcycles roaming middle-class neighbourhoods, shooting at people and storming into apartment buildings, shooting at anyone who seemed like he might be protesting. Now, there have been a lot of anti-Maduro protests, some of it because of the rising prices of oil and gas, a lot of inflation in the country, and Chavez, where he managed to keep that under wraps, he managed to pacify or mollify the poorer parts of the Venezuelan population. It seems that Nicolas Maduro is having more difficulty doing that, and there have been some very violent protests. The opposition leader Leopoldo Lopez was arrested. That has got a lot of media attention, but less so the fact that dozens of protesters have also been brutalised by some of them, and also detained. Lots of figures banding around. One figure of 149 I've seen, but it's very difficult to actually quantify it. There was also a beauty queen, Genesis Carmona. She, in the city of Valencia, was killed by a bullet, and this is a photo of her being transported to hospital. Unfortunately, that didn't work. Lots of speculation too as to whether or not the fact that the poor are joining these protests means that there is a real shift at the moment. Some are speculating, such as the left-wing American website Democracy Now!, that this may be another attempt by US-backed right-wing groups to oust an elected government. It really depends on what media you read. It's very difficult to get objective coverage, Claire, because media such as CNN, Spanish, have been thrown out of the country, and the state media is completely muzzled. So it's very difficult to get an objective voice on this. It's either protesters on blogs, etc., or foreign media who mightn't have the full scoop.
But the very strong allegation here that the international media just doesn't have a handle of what is going on.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned they're muzzled. Activists then are gravitating to social media to share and to keep each other informed.
And it appears that videos going up on social media or on YouTube are being taken down by the authorities. In fact, an anti-terror law is still in use, which gives the government massive broad powers, essentially, to arrest and detain. This video here, Claire, was put up online. Let's get some volume on that, because you can hear massive amounts of screaming and shouting coming out of residential buildings in this neighbourhood of Caracas. Not sure if we have the volume on that, but people are shouting down at riot police who have, as the video shows, shot somebody down in the street. So these are the sort of videos we're seeing across social media. A quick look now at an extract from one activist video. This person having put it up on YouTube and asking for the video to be shared as broadly as possible. Very anti-Nicolas Maduro, this video, but it's the kind of thing we're seeing on YouTube.
There is little information about how many students have been murdered in these 3 days of riots. Confirmed deaths have been 3 in 1 day alone, and many more unconfirmed in the days following. Over 30 students have been captured and taken to jail for peacefully protesting. Witnesses have also stated that these students are being tortured by the armed forces. The second problem is that the government controls all airwaves of communication, including TV and radio. The government has taken control of the few TV stations that brought to light their corruption to the Venezuelan people. Please share this video.
The power of the image, of course, James. We know what we saw in Kiev on Thursday, and the following day we did see a deal. The power of the image and what we witnessed. But there's also the allegation of disinformation by both sides.
That's right. There's not enough time to go into everything, Claire. It's a very detailed story, but I'll just take a look at this webpage where the opposition have been accused. Well, actually, this is a video. There's web pieces as well. Online, right, you have images that are being debunked, essentially, that have been got into the world's media, that have been tweeted and retweeted. This scene here shows a calm street in one neighbourhood in Caracas, and somebody pointing to their television screen showing that the state media have been depicting that street as having a lot of violence, right? You can see there the images on state media, essentially lying about that.
James Creedon, you honed in on Venezuela there. Thank you very much for Friday's Media
Thanks,
Watch.
Claire.
We're going to take a quick break, but Live from Paris continues. Stay with us.